Good morning, 819S. Today I'm on Vivi. It's a rainy day. I always put my stuff in a garbage bag on a rainy day to prevent it from getting wet. It's the cheapest solution I've ever found. The great thing about garbage bags, you use them a bunch of times until they get a little bit softer. Then you just throw garbage out with them. It's great. And they're waterproof. If you get the thicker ones, they're really strong and durable. No problem. So today it's Tsuyu still, rainy season, so you can tell it's raining pretty hard. And today I have a request, and that is to talk about parking. Parking is pretty interesting. Parking can vary from place to place. When you have a 50cc scooter like this, parking is a little bit easier. More or less, you can park where bicycles park, like in front of a convenience store or a supermarket. There's sometimes a sign that says bike okiba. Okiba is a parking place. So when you're out touring or riding or shopping, it's usually pretty clear where you can put a bike. And motorcycles also can usually be parked in that same place, right? Motorcycle can be parked where bicycles are parked. If you have a big bagger, if you have an adventure bike with top boxes and side bags and saddlebags and stuff like that, you might not want to park it there. You might not want to park it there because you might be taking up a lot of space. You can just use a regular car parking space. When my wife and I go somewhere together, at a supermarket, convenience store, someplace like that, we'll park two bikes in one car parking space, two Genskis, two 50cc scooters, and it's usually not that big of a deal. If you're in a really crowded parking lot, you can park it in one bike in a parking space for cars, and if it's crowded and busy, you might get a side eye or evil looks from some people, but I mean, parking is parking, so you do what you gotta do. If the bicycle parking area is safe, you can park it there. Next step for bike parking, or the next topic for bike parking, is your residence. So every single building has different rules, requirements, and places to park things. So the place I lived at in Sagamiono did not have any bicycle or motorcycle parking whatsoever. So my bicycles I brought into the inside of my house, and my bike was parked in the city parking lot. The city parking lot had a monthly pass, so you could pay, I think it was, when I was there, 5,000 or 6,000 yen a month, and you got a little IC card, and it would open and close the gate for you, so it was pretty easy to park there. And then it renewed every month automatically until you canceled it. I paid for mine in cash, so that means every month I had to go to the office, I paid in cash, and then I got a receipt. It was pretty easy. Some buildings do have bike parking, some have bicycle parking that don't allow bikes, and some places have bicycle parking that do allow bikes. And then, like I said, with the size of the bike, it will be different from place to place. So before my wife and I bought a house, we were looking at an apartment, and we basically had decided that we wanted to move there. The real estate company had told us, yeah, you can park your motorcycle here. And then like a day later, they called us and were like, oh, we talked to the landlord. No, that's bicycles only. You can't park motorcycles or scooters there. It's only bicycles. We were a little confused because other people were already parking motorcycles or bicycles there, but we're not going to fight with the real estate agent if that's what the landlord says. It's only going to be problems in the future. So we decided to just give up on that place, which turned out for the best because we ended up buying a house instead. Houses can sometimes do, sometimes don't have parking spaces, so you got to keep an eye out. You look around here, basically every place has a parking spot. These monthly Monthly parking lots for neighborhood cars are typically for cars only. You can contact them to negotiate whether you can park a motorcycle there or not. I see some people park a car and a scooter in the same space, and the scooter is sideways and the car is parked perpendicular to it. It really depends on the owner of the place. They may end up charging you the full price of a parking space too, so you're probably not going to get a discount because it's a smaller vehicle. You're still renting out a whole parking space. Prices for those vary from place to place. I would say Tokyo, like West Tokyo, Kanagawa area, you're looking at like 10,000 yen a month, something like that. 5 to 15,000, depending on the demand in that area. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Okay, so then that's the countryside area. When you get into the city, that's when things start to change too. The majority of time when you're in the city, there's going to be paid parking. Paid parking typically requires you put a chain through the tire or around a cable or something like that, and then plug it into the machine. Once it's locked into the machine, you have to pay to unlock it for most cases. There's usually a digital kiosk that you enter your code into. Some places are pretty kind. They'll give you 2 hours for free, and then the rest of it is paid. But I think most places recently, you have to pay even if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes. The place where I park in Machida is split into 3 different categories. Kogata, Chugata, Ogata. And it unfortunately does not follow the same rules as motorcycle licenses. So Chugata basically means 50cc bikes. Kogata, small bikes, means 50cc bikes. Chugata is up to 125. Where with a typical driver's license, Chugata means up to 400. Parking areas will clarify the number of cc's you can park there. And then Ogata, in the case of the parking area where I park, Ogata means anything over 125 cc's. In the place I park, just to give you an idea of how much parking could cost, 50cc bikes are 160 yen, 125cc bikes are 210 yen, and anything over 125 is 310 yen. They all used to be 10 yen cheaper just a few years ago, so it was 150, 200, 300, but times are changing. Things are getting a little bit more expensive here in Japan. 10 yen a day doesn't break the bank though, so that's not too big of a deal. I've heard downtown prices range from maybe 200 to 800 or 900 yen for 24 hours. Again, depending on demand and amount of parking spaces available and so on. I would hesitate to park someplace that you're unsure if it's okay or not. Parking tickets, I think, are pretty easily given out. Fortunately, I have never received one, but I think if you park on the sidewalk in front of a shop, like if I parked right here in front of Kuraya, if I was in Kuraya for less than 10 minutes, I think I can get away with it, but if you walk away for more than that, you might not. Really try to read the air, and if it feels like it's not right, what I typically do is we'll go in and ask the shop. I would say something like, "Mise no mae chusha ga ii desu ka? ちょっと10分ぐらい駐車していいですか?" とか Is it okay if I park here for just a few minutes? Is it okay if I park here for 10 minutes or so? And the shop staff will typically tell you, yeah, it should be fine, or yeah, no, you're going to have to go park it somewhere else. There's a 50cc parking lot in... Whoa, cool. There's a 50cc parking lot in Machida that often has 125cc bikes parked in it, and that parking area doesn't seem to really care about that. I think they base it on the size of the vehicle. So if you're on a little bike like this that has a bigger engine in it, they don't really care. But if you're on a bigger 125, like a Gixxer 125 or something like that, that's when you're starting to push the boundaries of what they would accept. Cubs seem to get away with it. They're slightly on the bigger side. Got some lightning and thunder going on. Yeah, Cubs seem to get away with it. They have the bigger wheels and the slightly longer wheelbase than a lot of scooters. But like I said, they tend to get away with it. Because there are 50cc Cubs and 110cc Cubs and 125cc Cubs. So I think the parking lot just gets the revenue, so they don't really care. And it's not causing too much trouble for the other customers. Again, try to pay attention to what local people are doing, and when in doubt, just ask. Worst thing that happens is they say no when you search for another place. In Machida, I've seen people... Yeah, my brakes squeak on rainy days. I definitely got to take them apart and clean them. These are new pads on this bike too. I think I didn't clean the arm when I changed the pads. I also probably didn't clean the brake surface enough. There's still some brake dust in there. But where was I? Yeah, pay attention to what local people are doing. When in doubt, ask. The worst case is that they'll tell you no, and then you have to search for another place. So standing outside the parking lot in Machida, I've seen some people looking for a place, and I stopped and asked, hey, do you have any questions? Are you okay? Just trying to help out other bikers. They're like, is this place free? The place I parked at before, I said, no, there's no free time. It's always going to cost, your bike's 125, so it's always going to cost 200 yen. And then some people gave me some information. Oh, if you go around the corner by the station here, there's another parking space that's free for an hour. There's a bigger parking lot over on that side. So you can get information from other local people and from other staff that are in the area. Yeah. And if you ask and they say no, it could prevent you from possibly getting a ticket or getting some other kind of punishment. So it might end up being good in the long run. Yeah. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer there, just let me know. Definitely check it out. Figure out what you need to know. Like I said, this is the 50cc bike section. That over there is bigger bikes, and then that section over there is for 125s. And this area is how you pay. So if you chained up a big bike in here, you'd only pay 160, but the security guard or the maintenance crew will come around and check to see if people are parking in the appropriate place. And unfortunately, if this place fills up, I have parked in the 125 and paid more money for it, even though it's a 50. I've also parked in there and paid more money, even though it's a 50. So, yeah, your mileage may vary. Yeah, I hope that helps. If there's anything else you guys want to hear about in the future video, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and ride. Ride safe.